Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check fresh release from Miniart. So this is a winter edition kit of the Soviet bow tank, and you can see here that it's written Soviet bow tank with winter ski. So you can see it on the box art here, and of course it is molded in 1/35 scale, so it's quite interesting build in popular armor scale. As you can see, it is part of What If series. And it is interior kit as all previous versions of this particular tank. So it means we'll get everything what was hidden inside of this unusual tank, I would say. So this is a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same set of parts if you order it from any good model shop. Modelimex should have them for sure, so if you would like to get it straight away, just go to their website and order it. First of all, I would like to show you the box size. So here you can see comparison with my hand. It's the same size as all previous Soviet bow tank releases. As you remember, it was Kugelpanzer, and it was also Soviet bow tank, the simple one, the first release. Now we have the winter version, and let's proceed with what is printed on the side of the box. Here we have some information about the kit. Also we have some safety devices, barcode and address of the manufacturer, as well as QR code. Then from the other side you can see all marking options which are included into this kit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marking options in one box, and in my opinion that's more than enough for 1/35 scale kit. And some manufacturers include less in real tank kits, and this one is a what if kit, so it's even better. So just give me a second to open it, because it's a bit of a tight fit, as you can see. And now it should be easy to remove this top cover. So it's a top opening box, obviously, and here is what we have inside. So all plastic sprues are packed into the separate plastic bag, but they're packed all together. Then we have assembly manual on the bottom, and I don't see any bonuses because bonuses are here. We have Decal Sheet and also transparent sprue inside. So this is a sealed plastic bag. It's not resealable, it's a, let's say, one-use plastic bag, so if you open it you won't be able to close it. And now let's open it with the scissors. Just give me a second. We'll check what is hidden inside. Well, if you saw the previous bow tank reviews, this plastic should be familiar to you, because frankly speaking the main difference is the skis part and also decals. But meanwhile, let me remind you that we are getting money for new photo and video equipment, and you can support us by pressing donate button on our website. So if you like our video reviews, you can actually donate us. And it is done via PayPal, so it should be really easy and safe, and of course you will be the one who will decide how much we will get from you. So first of all, I would like to start with Decal Sheet, because it was on the top of those plastic sprues. So I'm going to cut through this plastic bag. It's also sealed, by the way, and we'll check everything closer. Okay, so first of all, what do we have here is clear plastic sprue. Let's refocus the camera on those parts. So here we have parts for the headlamp and also for the tail light. Those are nicely molded. As you can see, there is also some replication of the reflectors inside this lens, so it should be quite nice once you place it instead of headlamp on the model. Then here we have the decal sheet, so let's focus the camera. Now we should be able to see it. As you can see, it is printed by Decograph. Here you can see it, and we have here all necessary symbols for 6 marking options, as you remember. So maybe red stars might be replicated with masks. It will be up to you. You can also replicate the crosses and swastika as well with masks, but again the final decision is will be done by you. Okay, next we have the first gray plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to various internal parts mostly. We have here also this separately molded hatch, but we also have this huge ring. As you remember, it will be making the main construction, or let's say the main section of this bow tank. Next By the way, don't forget that this is interior kit, so that's why we have some internal parts as well. And next we have another plastic sprue. It might look similar because it carries absolutely the same parts, and as you can see again we have this ring, so those two rings will have to be assembled together and then they will be enclosed with whole halves from both sides, and of course tracks will be on the top. Then here we have some parts for the internal detailing, and as you can see those parts are quite nice. So frankly speaking, I missed the first zoom session, so we will come back, but first let's check this sprue because we are on this sprue already. So I will zoom in and we will do the zoom section for this frame. I'm quite sure that some modelers will be happy to see that ammo is molded as a one-piece part. Maybe some modelers won't be that happy, but note that this sprue which we just saw is provided in two pieces. Here is another one. Set of parts on those frames is absolutely the same, so there is no need to show them once again. But I would like to return to this frame. It's a frame, as you remember, and we would do the zoom session with it as well. So let's go. So because this is interior kit, that's why we have detailing both outside and inside this hatch, which is really cool, I would say. Next we have another plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to the special frames. They will be actually connecting those huge rings which we saw before, and as you can see they're quite thin. Sorry for shaking the camera, but they're quite thin and you have to be careful while separating them because it might be easy to break them. And now let's zoom in so that you can see them closer. Okay. Maybe it might be a crazy idea, but some modelers might replace those plastic parts with metal tubes. It will be quite a funny result, I would say, because you might play with some weathering ideas, but maybe you can just paint those parts and get the same finish without resorting to metal parts. Next we have the small plastic sprue. This one has the letter BD, So let's zoom in and do the zoom session as well. Rolled wheels, they will be hidden inside, so no worries. Maybe some of you might be surprised why rolled wheels are actually here. They will be hidden inside the main hull, so they will be closed by the tracks, and then they won't be visible on the final vehicle. Next we have absolutely identical plastic parts. Why? Because those replicate machine guns which were installed, from both sides of this tank. So now let's do the zoom session. Okay, so that's a typical Soviet machine gun from Miniart. As you can see, it is okay for out-of-the-box detailing, but of course some of you might want a better detailing, so it would be better to resort to some resin upgrade with more detailed appearance. But of course it will imply some extra money spent on this build. Next we have those two small frames. Of course we won't be doing the zoom session for them, but as you can see they carry absolutely the same parts. Why? Because here we have, let's say, main gun barrels which are molded as one-piece parts, and they will be also placed from both sides of the tank, and molding quality is really nice. Those barrels are hollow from the inside, so just give me a second to focus. Now we should be able to see it. So it's more or less nice option to install on your tank. Maybe it's worth thinking on how to play by closing those turrets and not installing the main guns, because it's a what-if tank, so it's worth thinking on some additional modifications which will make the tank even more interesting. Then here we have another set of small frames, so those will be used for machine guns, as you remember. So as you can see, we have here this T letter pattern, and they're molded as one-piece parts, so it's really cool. Next we have the same parts as what we saw before. As you can see here, we have internal components and road wheels, so we won't be checking them because we checked them several moments before. Next, another interesting thing is this set of 4 sprues, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are plastic tracks, and because this is a round tank, so that's why we get them in the proper shape, let's say. So as you can see, they have this special bend, and overall they look quite nice. Of course you can replicate some weathering and damage on those parts, because as far as I can see they should be, well, rubber parts. And from the inside, of course, we don't have anything, because those parts will be actually closing the main hull of the tank. Okay. Next we have, well, one more plastic sprue with interior parts. So in total there are 4 of them, I guess. Yes, there are 4 of them. Next we have the special parts for the winter version. So this sprue is named as AC, as you can see. So let's zoom in and do the zoom session. Those nice skis will be installed from both sides of this tank. So as you can see, you should combine those two parts together, and I think it won't be a difficult assembly. And of course, those parts will noticeably change the final appearance of the tank. Next we have another plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to large hull half, as you can see here. And note that all hatches are molded separately, so you might open them on your tank, but it will be up to you because figurines are not included here, but at least we have interior, so it's worth displaying it on the finished model. Another thing is that engine parts are also included because it's interior kit, and as you can see, even small wires included in the form of those thin parts, so you will have to be careful while separating those parts, maybe even replace them with metal wire. Now let's do the zoom session so that you can see all those parts in detail. Okay, and there is one more plastic sprue, so just give me a second. Here it is. So here we have another hull half. We also have more engines, more parts for the engine and drivetrain, and also some internal components for the better detailing. Again, here we have all the hatches molded separately. Of course, main hatch is also separate, and it can be opened. So it would be cool to open at least one hatch and expose what is hidden inside. Now let's do the zoom session so that you see all those parts closer. And that was the last gray plastic sprue. Next we can move on to the assembly manual, because there should be some interesting things to show, especially if you didn't see the previous reviews. So here is assembly manual. As you can see, it is printed in form of large brochure. We have features list on the first page, on the cover, I would say. Note that there is no parts count anymore, so we don't know how many parts are inside. And here straight away we can see all marking options, all three marking options which are included here. So those two come from the Red Army. This one is a Northern Fleet of USSR Navy, and it's quite interesting because it's finished in the red cover, so it will be interesting to see it on the model. And note that here we have the note that all markings are invented and not real, well, fictional. Okay, so here we have parts map, and next we have assembly process, which starts with engine. Then we continue with driver's seat, I guess. Note that engine will be enclosed into the special frame. Then we install all road wheels on this huge ring, as you remember, and the same is done with another ring, and then you combine all those together. As you can see, we have these frames, they will be actually connecting those two rings together, and engine will be placed in the middle with this special road wheel, let's say, or the drive sprocket, if I can say so. Then here we have the driver's seat, and next we continue with installation of the gunner's seat from both sides, and more seats come again from both sides together with these machine guns, the engine bay cover, also the machine gun ammo storage. Then here you install the tracks, and you continue with main gun installation as well as ammo for the main gun. Then here we do the same on the other side, and why I'm a bit confused, because we will have to install those rings before installing the those cupolas of the main guns. And here, as you can see, various pipes are installed for the engine, and it is quite interesting because first manufacturer suggests to install the tracks and only then to install the various thin parts on the drive section of the tank. It is quite interesting sequence, I would say. Then here you continue by installation of those two halves on the middle section. And what I'm thinking about is whether it will be possible to do the same operation without the tracks, or actually tracks help to hold those parts in place. Who knows? Here we continue with skis. So skis will be installed on the special legs, let's say. And then here you can see assembly of those hatches from both sides. As you can see, they have the special hinges, which will be visible if you open those hatches on your tank. And as you can see, manufacturer suggests that you can actually open the hatch. And here you can see three more marking options. This one is a German, unidentified unit of Wehrmacht. And also here we have the Finnish army. And note that this black, actually it was covered by marker, so you can guess which sign was there. And here on the last page we have the colors chart in several manufacturers' designations, and this cut out paper which might be used as a base for your build. So this is all for this kit, quite a detailed kit, even though this is a what if subject. Just to remind you, it is molded in 1/35 scale, so it means it shouldn't be big, but it will have quite a reasonable size, and it can be combined with all popular figurine kits if you have any in 1/35 scale. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because this way you won't miss any new video review. And of course, I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye.